Monday night. How you all doing? Hope you had a great week. I hope you had a great Labor Day weekend too. Shout out to everybody that can. What do you know? Jonathan, Peanut. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Who else? We got Demon D's in the place. Marcel. McMahon's here. Aiden's in the building. Brandon's in the building. Yep. Jack. All right. Shout out to all yous. Appreciate all yous coming out. Lee Folk. All right. Jonah. Shout out to all yous. Really. Yeah, I mean, let's get into like the quick state of the Yankees before we open it up to the panel. Like, the Yankees are they 82-61, right? They are still a half a game ahead of the Orioles because they lost today. We've been getting lucky, right? Every time we win, they win. Every time we lose, they lose, and vice versa. 82-61. There's 21 games left. 21 games over 500. The Orioles are 82-62. So they have they have 18 games left. Right? No, 64. Yeah, actually, we have 19. No. Yeah, we have 19 games left. They have 18. So, and Boston is 10 games behind. 10 games out of first. They're 72-71. Cleveland's got 81 wins in the Central. Kansas City's got 79. Houston's got 77 wins of the lead in the West. So the Yankees have the most wins in the American League. So, and in the National League, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Phillies have 85. The Milwaukee Brewers have 82-61, just like the Yankees, and the Dodgers are 86-57. So they are 6 games up on the Padres, who are still in the hunt, and 7 games up on the Diamondbacks. Now, for playoffs right now, the Yankees, Cleveland, and Houston lead. The 3 wild card teams that right now are the Orioles, the Royals, and the Twins. In the National League, the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Milwaukee Brewers lead, and the wild card teams are the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Atlanta Braves. So that's where we stand. Now, this series, not much runs being scored. So this was the pitching did most of the heavy work this series, both sides. Right? The Yankees shut out the Cubs twice, and the Yankees lost 2-1 today. And defense cost them a game today. So, I mean, Cole gave up 2 runs, but none of them were earned. Gleyber Torres' error, unfortunately, led to a bad outcome for the Yankees. But it is what it is. So, but and that's where we're at. I mean, let me put this. Yeah, hit that like button, everybody. Let's smash these like buttons really quick. I'm going to put the link to the open panel here. I'm going to post it up. So come on in, folks. John, what's up? What is good? NFV is in the building. Yeah. Just go through a quick Yankees talk, and then we'll have a little bit of fun. And then we'll wrap it up. Probably keep it to an hour tonight. So we'll have a little fun. I don't know what your takes are. Be getting a lot of heat rate, at least recently. So love to know what you guys are thinking. They're not. If they weren't a good team, Austin, they wouldn't be in first place. Missing a lot of pieces, but they still want to. So yeah, I mean, what team do you think Soto's going to sign with, Austin? Jonathan's in a place. What's happening, man?
Hi.
Yeah, the option Duke Ellis back at the AAA. Okie dokie. I didn't think
I did it.
Liz is here. What's happening, man?
He asked me to run the company.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
The option not Duke Ellis. I'm surprised at that. I would have come up here personally, but that's just me. Ken's in the building. There he is. What do you know, Ken? What do you know?
Not a lot. How about yourself? I know that NFE and I called the play-by-play for the last 2 days, and
yeah, you guys are killing it. Consul Yeti's in the building too. What's up, Consul Yeti?
Hey guys,
How are you?
not bad.
John Birdie will come up tomorrow.
John Birdie, I would not be surprised if he comes up. Yes, I would agree. I mean, if they option down Ellis, then they bring the roster back 26. So, so we'll be at 25 right now.
Uh,
Yeah.
the big question is, what can they do with this offense to get it clicking? Because they can't even score. Earlier in this year, they couldn't even score against a pitcher with a 5 ERA.
Jonah,
Yo, boss.
what's up,
What's
man?
up, man?
How you doing, bud?
How you been?
Yeah, I mean, the offense on either side was like pretty much non-existent this series. The pitching did a good job. They really, really did.
Well, on both sides of the field, they did a good job.
Yep. Yes, they did.
When you're
Tyone
trying
was
to hit it,
And then there were two.
deadly today.
What's that?
Tyone was deadly today.
Tyone, yeah, he did better. He did pretty well today. No.
Well, Torres was deadly too.
Yeah,
Gosh,
he
yeah.
was.
Yeah, Torres.
I think they're still trying to figure it out, Brandon. What do you guys think about who's going to be in the rotation behind Cole in the playoffs?
I think it will be Schmidt,
Or Gil.
Nosebleed.
Gil,
Hey.
Rodon, and Stroman.
I agree with that, Jonathan.
Probably. Hill, Rodon, Stroman, and Cole.
I agree.
I think that's a solid lineup
Yeah.
or rotation.
I don't see Stroman being there.
Where do you think he's gonna be?
Not on the roster.
He'll probably be in the bullpen.
I think Nestor will be in the bullpen.
Well,
I
he
think
did really good the other night.
Yeah. I think it's an
Yeah, I think-
opportunity for him. Like he shows he can bring value from the bullpen. It's only going to increase his value and increase his versatility. And he was really good. I think it's an opportunity for him to get in. More.
If Nestor had a very good rest of the year in the bullpen, I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded in the offseason.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded.
That's a good point, Jonathan.
There.
He opened up his mouth, so yeah, probably.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if they trade Cortez. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade Trevino. So,
Yeah.
I think there will be a lot of moves, especially before the Rule 5 draft. They probably have a bunch of guys, and the Yankee farm system always gets soaked over the last 3 years, ever since we lost Whitlock.
Yep, true.
I think trying to get rid of Trevino is going to be difficult with the fact that he has no arm, and they steal off of him like crazy. So we'll be lucky to get international money for him.
I would take international money.
I would as well.
I would look for it. I would put him out there, and if a team wants him,
yeah,
I would take I would take whatever we get back.
Cash considerations. Why not?
Right, but I'm just saying I don't foresee a trade out there for him.
I could see him being a part of a bigger trade. I could see
That's
him
true.
like, oh, by the way, here's Trevino. So
I could see that too.
That's a good
Trevino
point.
and a big prospect for somebody. Like they have a lot of infielders. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they traded. I talked to John about this earlier. I'd be surprised if they trade Roderick Arias because they had George Lombard here. So one of these guys is probably going to get moved.
Yeah, what I mentioned earlier to you is they have so many infielders coming up.
Mm-hmm.
This is why over the
That's a
last
great thing.
year. This is why over the last year I wasn't worried about trading Torres. I would have traded Torres last year or 2 years ago. They have so many infielders. You can afford to trade someone like Torres, and maybe you find someone better in the minors.
Yep. Now Caleb Durbin is off the IL. So is Clayton Beater.
Yes.
So
they've been trying to trade Torres, though, I think, and I just don't think that they can really get anything for him. So I think that's probably the biggest obstacle on that front.
I want to know if there's someone we can put on the 60-day to get Durbin on the team, because Durbin is not on the roster.
it's not the 40-man.
I think that Torres, he could go somewhere because I think people see his potential in a smaller market team. Because when he's under this much pressure, he doesn't do good. New York Yankee pressure,
True.
I also wouldn't mind if they give Vivas a chance next week.
That'd be
Vivas,
awesome.
you got a lot of guys. Durbin, Vivas.
The problem is they're not going to sit Torres. So, I mean, the idea of bringing up other infielders, with the exception of maybe Birdie, is a pipe dream right now. They are not going to get rid of him because he's hitting, even though his fielding still sucks. He
Mhm.
cost us the game today. And I've got an adage that I've carried over since I used to count my son's pitches. And that is the number of extra pitches a pitcher has to throw whenever his teammates make an error.
Yep.
It cost Cole 15 pitches in the first inning. Torres'
point.
error, not only the 2 runs that got allowed because, basically we didn't get out of the inning. So it's not just what it has more than just a single effect on the team. When someone like that continues to make errors, it impacts the pitchers.
Affects the entire team.
It's true.
Well,
It's true. I mean, like,
definitely.
I was
Here,
happy.
here we go again, type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's why if we're gonna get guys that throw pitches to contact, we need to have as good infield defense as possible.
Great point.
Yeah.
I would not be upset if they were. Well, now they can't trade Torres because the trade deadline's passed. He's going to be a free agent, so you can't trade anybody on the 26. So
It's a good point.
And they're not going to send him down and not going to DFA him. So the notion of bringing somebody up from AAA is not going to happen.
yeah, there isn't a single player right now that can put this team can guarantee anything for the team.
You're not wrong.
There's not
A
single
lot of
player.
and I can hear the fans on the other side of this thing hearing that and saying, "What about Jason Dominguez?"
Of course, again, look, I like Jason Dominguez, right?
I do too. I do.
And this is like people flipped out the other day. Like, we get an endless diet of Boone hate, Cashman hate, Torres hate, Clay Holmes hate, right? The second you put out something that's not overly positive on Dominguez, they throw a fit.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what I'll say about Dominguez. If
And
the
I didn't
Yankees
even
really,
write the article. I didn't even write the freaking article.
Yeah.
And you got all the flack for
if
it,
the
though.
Yankees really wanted to use Dominguez this year, they would have traded Verdugo at the trade deadline
Yes.
and used someone to platoon for 3 weeks probably until Dominguez was ready.
Good
Yep.
point, Jonathan.
Dominguez was ready at the end of August to be called up. They could have had a platoon guy in left field until Dominguez was ready to come up.
Yeah, unfortunately for him,
So you bring Dominguez up. What does he bring to the dance?
Don't know.
Exactly.
Oh,
We don't
Exactly,
know.
Ken.
Right now he brings almost nothing.
he brings
Well,
Maybe,
did you see-
maybe a
did
little
you-
bit more rookie energy.
Did you see when we brought him up the first time this year already? He didn't do diddly.
That was one game.
Well,
You can't
well,
judge.
he-
You can't
he
judge
did-
him on one game.
I wouldn't put
Yeah,
him on.
but the bottom line is look at what Verdugo is doing in the field
That's a good point.
and what he's been doing the last 3 weeks at bat. He's starting to get a stroke back.
Yep.
And so the question becomes, is Dominguez going to give us more than Verdugo is currently giving the team?
probably not.
I don't think Dominguez is as good a fielder as Verdugo is.
He's not even close.
Verdugo is top notch, and he's also got an arm.
And
He doesn't hesitate to make a throw, which Dominguez did in that one game that he did play.
exactly.
And he basically chalked up a run because he double pumped.
Lost us the game if you want to.
Well,
You
I wouldn't hold anything on him. none of the team hit that day. It was against Tarek.
No, I'm not talking
You're
about
right.
hitting. I'm not talking about hitting. I'm talking about his fielding.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the field,
Yeah.
the field, he double clutched
Yep.
He
and caused the
stuttered.
run to come in, which Verdugo comes up and has a bullet and is either right to the catcher or on one hop to the catcher where the catcher's playing. So, Verdugo's got, basically everything that you want from a left fielder that this team has been missing for years.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, he went from 265 down to 235 for some unknown reason. I don't think anybody's been able to explain what happened to his hitting. But he was hot as a pepper to begin with.
Yep.
He went cold, but I have to give him credit that unlike Torres, who when he went cold at the bat, went cold in the field,
Yeah.
Verdugo kept playing hot in the field. And, maybe he made one or two, misplays, but how many plays has he made that nobody else could make, running into walls, diving for balls, getting balls that look like they're completely out of reach by anybody, and his arm lifts up and he catches it.
For sure. Not to mention his postseason numbers. Verdugo is
Yeah.
a stud in the postseason.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And again, like all due respect to Dominguez, but the reason why they traded Verdugo was because Dominguez got Tommy John, right?
Right.
So they brought him in, right? And Verdugo Dominguez had an opportunity to come up when Giancarlo Stanton got hurt. Unfortunately, he got hurt again. So he missed his window there, unfortunately. So, and that's part of the game, right? People get hurt, right? So I do think he'll be the starting left fielder in 2025. But again, I don't want to the problem right now is, yes, they're loyal to their players, but do we want to treat one player like he's more important than everybody else?
Not right now,
I
you
don't
know.
think it's a good idea. Okay,
No.
and I use that. I pissed a lot of people off, but I use Jackson Holiday as a comparison because he's hyped bigger than Dominguez.
It's a perfect comparison.
Okay, and he came up and hit zero, and then he went back down and hit like 700, and then he's back up again. Now he's hitting 170, and he's the number one prospect in all baseball.
Hang on, Ken's trying to say something.
Yeah,
Go
he's
ahead, Ken.
If you look back,
nothing.
when Ben Rice was brought up, his OPS was higher
Boom.
than Dominguez is now.
Yep, Ben's
And,
yep.
Ben Rice came up and he had 5, maybe 8 really solid games that he was hitting, and then he fell off the truck. Now he's back down in AAA again, and he is beating the crap out of the
Yep,
ball.
he's homer 3 games in a row. He's homer 3 games in a row, and good for him.
Yep.
Right? And
For sure.
he's a rookie.
Absolutely.
But another problem the Yankees do is when they call these kids up, they start to hit well over 10, 15 games, and then immediately after the veteran is well enough to play, they put the rookie back in AAA.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. If he's playing well at the big leagues, you keep him up here and you build his confidence.
Yeah, but it's not only the Yankees that do that. Every other team in the major
I
league
know, but
does that.
Unfortunately,
So-
unfortunately, he fell off the face of the earth. He got hot and then he stopped hitting. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
he
then-
got those.
and
He
then-
got those 3 home runs in Boston,
Yeah.
and then went stone cold.
And then Stone Cold, and then DJ got healthy, and then Rizzo got healthy. So he was unfortunately a victim of shit timing also.
yeah,
For sure.
that's a
Veterans
good
came back.
comparison.
And he still couldn't prove that he could hit again.
Ben Rice to Shane Spencer is a good comparison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think Rizzo comes back next year?
No.
No.
Good.
If he comes back, he will be a coach.
Right.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
think.
I think for Rizzo that they're going to decline his option, pay him his $6 million. If they bring him back, he'll probably be on a $8 million contract for 1 year. That's very incentive laden.
I don't think he comes back as a player.
Hey, Ken, your audio is pretty bad.
All right, give me a sec.
Okay.
But again, I understand the hype, and the passion with Dominguez. But again, unfortunately, he doesn't have a spot right now. And what if he comes up? What if he comes up here and sucks like Jackson Holiday? And what are we going to do? Are we going to blame Boone and Cashman for that?
Yeah.
Well, the fake fans will.
They need to give
Yeah.
Dominguez the same chance as they gave Volpe. Let him play every day, and then at the end of the year, make a decision whether he sucks or not.
Agreed,
Right.
Jonathan.
But they're not willing to do that right now. That's the issue.
I think
Next year,
Honestly, from the point that Dominguez starts, you're truly not going to know what type of a player you have for a year and a half. I
Very
think
good point.
eventually the kid is eventually going to be a 30-30 guy that could play a decent outfield, but you're not going to get that from Jump Street, and you're talking postseason.
Exactly. In New York, nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're 19 games away from the postseason now. Like, is it time? I mean, he needs time to get into a groove, Dominguez, right? We got to give him time.
100%, Jason.
one other thing everyone has to remember about Dominguez, he's still 21 years old.
Is that how old he is for real?
21 years old.
I
He's
didn't realize he
still
was that young.
He's 21 and been in the organization for 5 years.
Holy
They
smokes.
signed him. They
He's
signed
gonna
him
be
very young.
22 in February.
Right.
If
I think-
somebody's asking, AOG, if he never got hurt, if who never got hurt? You
If
mean Stanton?
Dominguez.
Never
I think
got
you're referring to
hurt, he would
Dominguez.
be in the minor.
Dominguez-
He would be in the
Dominguez-
majors every day.
If Dominguez didn't get hurt, he would be DHing for Stanton, not playing left field. He'd
If
DH,
he-
he would still be in left field.
If he hadn't have gotten hurt, then he probably would have gone cold at some point. All of the fans would have been pissed off at the fact that he was playing left field and would be clamoring for him to be sent down again. It's the same thing with Ben Rice and any other person who comes up.
But
So
remember, they wouldn't have Verdugo.
yeah,
They would have no
that's
need for
true, too.
Verdugo.
Yes, and you're saying
For
Austin.
sure.
You're saying Austin Wells. Well, another thing, Austin Wells wasn't going to be the starter this year.
No, not a shot.
Trevino got hurt. Wells got his opportunity, took full advantage of it, and he's freaking phenomenal now. So
Agreed.
thank the heavens. So
And that's the difference between Wells and Rice. Rice
Yeah.
didn't take advantage of the opportunity he had. Like I said, he was great in Boston. He helped us out with those 3 home runs,
For like a
but
week.
went stone cold, made a few errors in the field. Otherwise, he was pretty good at first base, but he shot himself in the foot by losing his swing.
On the other hand,
There's
he
you
also
got a
got
comment
confidence.
from AOG 34. Martian did in 2 weeks what we wished Volpe would have gotten sold on when we got sold on Volpe.
well,
I'll tell you what. As far as the kid is concerned, his rookie season, he won the Gold Glove.
Yep.
He is hitting 50 points higher than he did last year.
Yep.
You usually have a growth curve of 2 to 3 years before you get the player that you're going to have.
And Volpe's also not hyped like Dominguez. Dominguez is hyped through the roof for the past 3 years.
Who do people compare Dominguez to again?
Mickey Mantle.
Exactly. Like those are some big shoes that you'll never fill.
And I will take exception to that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will.
Hang on, I think Billy was trying to say something. Billy?
Well,
Sorry, Bill.
there's no, that's cool, man. It's like anything else. The powers that be in the Yankees front office, they probably know something we don't. This year, this time last year, we were wondering why Peraza wasn't going to be playing, and we look forward to the idea of Peraza playing this year. He's not playing this year. Why is that? For whatever reason, he can't hit. He's not given the shot that he's been given. So, I don't know. I mean, rookies are what they are. They're rookies,
Exactly.
But I will say this: Ben Rice has shown, if nothing else, he has shown himself that he can hit at the major league level. So that's got to be kind of a confidence booster for him to get consideration next year.
Can I point out something in terms of the rookies?
Go ahead.
Colton Cowser is now, you think, the favorite for Rookie of the Year, Cowser?
That's according to the baseball rank.
According to the last 30 games, Cowser is batting .217 with 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, 44 strikeouts, and 1 stolen base, and an on-base percentage of .297.
Right, which means that if
Austin
Wells
has better numbers than him.
right, so if Wells
Right.
can keep it up, he has a chance of maybe garnering a few more votes.
So does Luis Hill.
Yeah.
It truly depends on what metrics you're trying to analyze. Because if you look at WAR, Cowser is like a 3.6 WAR, and Wells is a 3.5. I mean, they're neck and neck.
Yep.
And if you look at all metrics, Wells is having the better season.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
I thought Hill was gonna win the Rookie of the Year at the beginning of the year. I'll be honest with
If
you.
he didn't get hurt, he probably would have.
Right.
I thought it was going to be between him and Paul Skeens.
I agree 1,000%.
Paul Skeens is in the National
far-
League.
He's in the National League.
Yeah. But
Oh, I disagree.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I'm
about
old,
Paul
man. Give me a
Skeens.
break.
Paul Skeens is in a different league. He's not up against him.
Exactly.
Well, to this point, AOG, they didn't fire him for trying to develop Gary Sanchez. He was like publicly trashing him. That's one reason he's gone.
Well,
You know.
I would say sometimes it's good, maybe not publicly, but sometimes you have to get on a player's ass.
Of course. He
and
did.
make them feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
in order for them to be really motivated to get their shit together and perform.
Emphasis on the not publicly. Like,
Yeah.
You don't bash
Exactly.
your players publicly.
I
Exactly.
mean,
Never.
if you
Well,
Like
maybe
Torres.
that. I don't know what happened in Girardi's case. Maybe that was one point where he was pushed too far, and he said something publicly one time. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know all the details.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
no, it was, I remember that year. It was more than just a couple of times. It was public.
Okay, so maybe he took it too far then.
Just to your point, AOG 34, that's man shoe, not soft. Trashing people from behind the screen when they're not here is soft. That's not man shit. Okay? I say it all the time. That's why I don't do it here. That's why I don't invite it here. Okay?
That's why
So
we love you, Jason.
this is why we love you. This is why I love you guys too, right? I don't trash people when not here to respond because that's ridiculous. So, and this has nothing to do with man stuff. This isn't an alpha male thing. Alpha males don't have to call themselves alpha males.
thank you.
Exactly.
And we're not negative on Jason Dominguez.
Yeah, we're not trashing Jason Dominguez.
Not at all.
And and I'll defend the team. We're not negative on the Martian. Nothing we're saying is untrue, Jim A. He's a prospect. He still has time to develop. And the fact is,
He's 21 years old.
And he's very young.
Mm-hmm.
Kid's a child, younger than me.
This is why, like, negative on the Martian. This is what I like. Like, people trash Boone and Cashman every single day, right? All over all the channels. They come here on our channel too and do it. And the minute you say something that's not overly positive about Martian, the guy who's been we've been fed that he's basically the only one in the Yankees we can't criticize.
there were
And the
there
other
were a
point
couple of
is,
champ.
hang on one second again. What have we said so far in the last 26 minutes and 49 seconds that is negative about the Martian?
Nothing.
All
Yep.
we've said was it's not his time. We have
He's
not
a
said anything
child.
about him. We even said, don't hold that one at bat, that one game he played against Kubo when he went over 4 with 3 strikeouts
Yeah.
because the entire team didn't hit
Sucked
that
that
game.
day.
Yeah.
So
Good
we don't
point.
hold that against him. We haven't said one negative thing about him other than it's not the right time.
It's not.
So
I
I
think-
take exception to what Jim is saying about that we're so negative on the Martian. If anything, we're all looking forward to him in 2025. We just don't think that 2024 is his time.
I agree.
Well,
I think
the whole point is you're trying to gear for the postseason. And if he doesn't bring value added to the postseason roster, significant value, then there's no point in bringing him in.
Postseason in the Bronx is crazy pressure. It could ruin him. Could
Yeah.
ruin his confidence.
And speaking of ego, because people keep saying ego, Cashman, ego. Like if the Martian came up and sucked, let's just say, kind of like Jackson Holiday does right now,
You blame Boone and Cashman.
would those
What the
people
heck?
would those people be acknowledging that they were wrong about Dominguez?
No, they'd be blaming Boone and Cashman.
Why? Ego. We got all
Exactly.
these egomaniacs calling Boone and Cashman egomaniacs. I don't understand that.
Well,
I mean,
Good point, Jason.
also there may have been a lot of trades that could have gone through that were just blocked or the Yankees didn't want. I was with you on trade deadline day. There was a lot of rumors about trades that the price was so high.
We were on for 8 hours for that shit.
Yes,
I was there for all 8
enjoyed that.
hours.
I would do it again if I have time next year.
Yeah.
100%, Jonathan. I enjoyed
Right,
every
just
second of
wanted-
it.
But the thing
just
is,
wanted-
if you look at the trades, excuse me, guys, if you look at the trades that didn't happen, why didn't they happen?
NFE.
They didn't have. Hey, buddy. Hey, Anthony. They didn't happen because one, the price was too high.
There's a seller's market.
It wasn't right. It wasn't. We weren't going to spend all those prospects for 2 months of Tanner Scott. We weren't going to go with Flaherty because the medicals didn't look good, and we've made enough mistakes in the past of going with guys that aren't 100% because we think that they're going to come around and our team can fix them. We know that our medical staff can't fix anybody, so I think that's definitely an out. And to me, it's a saving grace. Even though Flaherty has actually pitched well for the Dodgers, I don't think it was a risk for us that we were willing to take. So given that, and given the fact that many people did not want to get rid of the Martian in a trade, or
And
did
Jones.
not want to get rid of Jones in a trade, what the hell was the team supposed to do when the price was through the roof?
Yep.
They had us in a full Nelson. Every single team. We couldn't do nothing.
Well, that was with the problem with the trade deadline, because there were so many
Buyers.
teams that were still in the playoff race.
Yep.
So they weren't
Exactly.
going to sell off their
Impact.
pieces with the potential of making postseason. Cardinals particularly, they had a bunch of assets that would have fit the Yankees very nicely.
And look
But
how much, yeah.
and up front, when the Astros got raped for
Kikuchi.
Yusei Kikuchi,
Mm-hmm.
that completely blew the pitching market.
Yeah.
Every which way
100%.
but loose.
Right
They
out
give
of the
up
water.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just-
the Padres for Tanner Scott gave up their 2, their 3, their 4, and their 21st pick. So they blew the top tier of their farm system, for at least 4 years.
100%.
For a 2-month rent, for a 2-month rental.
Exactly.
There
If we
is a-
want Scott, we'll go to the open market and get him when he's a free agent, and we can lock him up for some time.
And imagine if we didn't win the World Series and gave up Jones and Dominguez for Tanner
Exactly.
Scott.
Exactly.
You know how much hate we would have? You know how much hate Cashman would get? He made the
It
right
would be-
decision. 100%.
It would be the Bronx's burning, because they'd
Exactly.
be burning down Yankee Stadium.
Exactly. 1000%.
There is another guy in the minors I want to mention, which is Cam Schiss. How is it?
Whitler.
Cam Schistler.
Whitler.
I think if he pitches the way he's pitching now in spring training, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a chance at the rotation.
Well, there may very well be openings in the rotation.
Yeah, and
Well,
I
it's-
think he could fill one of those spots.
There's certainly a chance that
We're gonna
Nestor
lose a couple
Cortez gets
pitchers.
moved in the offseason.
100%.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cortez gets moved. He was basically on the move in the traded line.
I think.
Yeah.
I think it also depends on how well he does in the bullpen for the rest of the season. If he's a stud in the bullpen, I wouldn't mind
Well, the last
keeping him around.
time he went to the bullpen, I think he had a 2.50 ERA.
Oh, really?
He had a very good ERA.
It only increases value. It only make him more valuable. Again, if he's just in there. And you look like Forrest Whitaker from Ghost Dog a few minutes ago. You had the black,
I was going to say, he was in his seance
in
room
the dark,
and to
the
get-
lights
and to get-
off. You look like
to get the
totally
hell
Ghost
out of
Dog.
there.
You
Well,
look
see,
like Ghost Dog a few minutes
it was too much play-by-play.
ago. What's up, brother? What's your take?
What's going on?
What's your take?
Everybody on the panel, everybody on the chat, what is up? My take on what, the trade deadline, or
Oh, what? You're
No.
just the Yankees right now. We got a lot of
the Yankees.
we got a lot of
Jason Dominguez,
Verdugo.
Nestor Cortez.
Usual
So in other
stuff.
words, nothing new.
well, just fire everybody. Who cares?
That's
No.
it's the same sword that we've been fighting with over the last couple of weeks.
No, so I do want to address the whole Jason Dominguez situation, because fans were freaking out, man. And I know Jason and I have talked at length about it many times. We've had several conversations about it, and I talked to Ken about it a few times as well. But look, there's been a couple of things that fans have been complaining about all season. And one of the things that they complain about is that this team has multiple holes. Okay, fine. You bring up Dominguez, he addresses one hole. And people say, well, that's one less hole. Okay.
But
What about the multiple holes that they need to, other multiple holes that they need to address? How many is Dominguez going to be able to address those holes? Also, I just, he's one guy, right? How does he address those multiple holes? I don't understand. He addresses one hole. So they're treating this guy like he's going to be some sort of savior. And I think he'll be a contributor to this team, but I don't know about the savior part yet. So we really don't know what we're going to get out of him yet.
Yeah, and to your point,
There's a
go ahead.
argument that keeps getting held up that the Yankees are holding Dominguez back.
he's 21 years old.
I don't believe that he's being held back. I just don't think that he has value the fans are putting on this kid at 21 years and 9 games in the major leagues.
Agreed, Ken.
Agreed.
And the other thing I was going to mention too was the fans kept complaining about the Yankees bullpen. So it's like, okay, if you bring up Dominguez, how does he help the bullpen?
Thank you. Yeah.
How does he help the bullpen? Can this guy pitch?
Verdugo
Okay, he
goes
can
to
hit,
the
he can
bullpen,
field,
that
can he
means.
pitch?
What kind of movement does he have on his fastball?
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't they be addressing the bullpen then? Shouldn't they be more concerned about the bullpen than bringing up Dominguez? This is what I'm saying. It's not that I don't want Dominguez up here. I want Dominguez up here. Absolutely, I want Dominguez up here. And, Cashman said it, Boone said it. The only way that he gets called up is if he gets playing time every day. And that's what I would want from him for him if he was to get called up.
For his development, for sure.
What was that?
For his development, for sure.
Yep.
He's not going to develop anything sitting on the bench.
I mean, because if it's, let's just say, if it's what the fans want, if Verdugo gets DFA'd, he's still gonna split time with him and Trent Grisham. That's gonna happen.
Good
or
point.
if Trent Grisham gets sent back down, he's gonna split time with him. It's gonna be split time with him and Verdugo. So I'd rather the guy get called up and have him play every day, and I think that's gonna happen next season.
Agreed.
I think he'll be your starting left fielder in 2025. I think that's what's going to happen. I feel like that's inevitable. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. But this whole Dominguez situation, the amount of people that freaked out about it and went on a rant and went on this rampage, it was just like unbelievable.
They're still going on the rampage.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it.
How dare you share an
Even
article?
though we know they traded for Verdugo. Verdugo's here for this year only.
Right.
Exactly.
Soto.
Stopgap.
Soto.
To be replaced by Dominguez, who, again, we didn't know he was going to come back this quickly, but he did. Good for him. Good for him.
And there's one other subject I wanted to mention is why don't the Yankees utilize their speed and steal more and pinch run more and steal? They don't do that.
They've been stealing a little bit more as of late. They've actually been trying to create those situations as of late, especially with Jazz Chisholm on this team. You saw that with Duke Ellis today.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to create situations, Jonathan. Ever since Jazz Chisholm came to this team, they're trying to create more of that threat on the bases.
And pretty much
The problem is they're still not hitting.
Yep.
That is a problem.
Chisholm got himself to second base with 1 out, and they couldn't bring him in to tie the game today.
Right.
So that's that. So they are. I agree. They are starting to run. That's why they use Ellis to pinch run more than a couple of times since he's been up. But we're not making contact when we need to. That's that situational hitting that we've talked about for about 1 or 2 months now.
It seems like our team crumbles under pressure typically, including our bullpen.
And right now, both Judge and Soto are in a bit of a slide.
Yeah.
100% slumping.
Judge is hitting what, 217 over the last 11 games, is it?
I think it was like 175 or something like that. I'd have to look it up, but it was pretty bad, Joel.
How long has it been since he hit a home run?
11
It's been
games.
like 11 games, 9 games. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the span that they measured today and said that I heard 217, but if it's lower than that's fine. But the thing is, he's in a slide right now, and so is Soto. Soto is, I mean,
100%.
today Tyone made Soto look like he was a minor leaguer.
Yep.
I mean, he just could not touch that sweeper that went from 12 to 6. I mean, Soto
Tyone
just
looked
looked at
good.
it.
I can answer that. I can answer some of that question. In the last 7 games, Judge is 4 for 26 with no home runs, 2 RBIs, 10 strikeouts.
How many doubles?
154 ERA.
How many
Has
doubles,
he
Jonathan?
doesn't have an ERA.
ERA.
Average, not
Okay.
What's his average?
154 in the last 7 games.
Yeah, well, that's not great.
He looks tired, Judge.
Yeah.
He
Looks worn out. He does look a little worn out.
I think he just needed a full day off.
Yeah.
Also,
Day off.
I'd give him a full day off after a rest day or a day that we don't have a game.
Travel.
So he's got 2 days off. That's just my opinion.
I'm gonna share this, and I'm gonna have to dip out because I've got work tomorrow. I'm just gonna say this: we got 19 games left, so I understand getting guys rest, but we got to do it in a way. If this team is going to win and make a deep run, first of all, I think in order for them to make a deep run, they have to win the American League East. Getting in the wild card, they're going to get bounced. They may get bounced anyways, but to give them a better chance, it's give them a longer series. This team is offensively, they're going to have to get hot like now, like
Yesterday.
next series. If that happens, if the pitching can hold up, I like their chances in the postseason, but that's a pretty big if. So I agree. Let's get Judge some rest. Let's get Soto some rest if he needs it. But it has to start. It has to start like right now. And if Cole can be Cole, and if the pitching staff in general, Rodon's had a pretty good season until his pretty good stretch here until his last start. But I think he can put it together. We'll see. It'll be interesting. But
You're right.
anyways, guys, y'all take care. And I'm sorry the Cowboys won. So I'll see y'all later. Y'all be safe.
I'm happy the
All
Bills
right,
won, though.
Billy, good night.
Okay.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Good night,
See you,
Buck.
Billy.
To your
Bye.
point, Bill, Pina, this is an important point, and I see the same thing about Verdugo. When he crashed face first into the wall a week and a half ago, he hasn't been the same. But why did he crash into the wall? Because he was hustling,
Exactly.
right? And he got banged up. He was holding his leg, and Boone said so much. He's banged up, right? So, and again, I'm not saying to pound Dominguez. I'm saying this to defend Verdugo.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Jason, according to the fans, this team doesn't hustle because of who the manager is. So
Exactly.
According to
Well,
some of these fans.
when Booney was a player, I mean, he wasn't the fastest guy on the field. He'd slop around and flip some balls to first base from third after face planting into the dirt. I mean, he only hit the epic home run against the Red Sox in Yankee Stadium to put us in the in the series, but he doesn't know shit about baseball.
Yeah, to
No,
earn the same
clearly not.
earn the same middle name as Bucky Dent. So, that doesn't count. But the thing is, when we hear these comments about hustle, they don't talk about hustle in the field because both Verdugo and Judge hustle their ass off in the field, run into walls,
All the time.
and it's like, so that's also part of hustle. And so if Verdugo can't run out a ball that he sees as a ground out to the second baseman, and he's got no chance of beating out, and his knee is hurting a bit, of course he's not going to run. I don't see that the same way as us getting on Torres for not running. Torres has no excuse. He's not running into any walls.
That's a great point.
But he's not running into any balls either. So,
Well, that's yeah. I didn't want to go that far, Ken.
Hey, a quick one here. Jim A., I think your hands may be getting tired because I see a lot of threads flying through you. If you really got something to say, hit the link and join the open panel. Come up and let's hear it.
Yeah, be heard, man. That's what.
Can I say something quick?
That's what it's for.
Jazz Chisholm quickly became my favorite Yankee. Like,
Great fit.
I think he does what Derek Jeter does the most since Derek Jeter. Like, how he put his body on the line there and ran into the netting the other day or the other night. He looks like Derek Jeter. He really does, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He just gives
Also,
110%.
It's worth mentioning too. Putting Clay Holmes in a non-closer situation,
Saved
he looked
him.
more comfortable out there.
Yes,
So
he
much
did.
more comfortable.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he struck out a couple of guys.
Yep.
I think Holmes should be the eighth inning guy.
Hey,
He
Jason.
looks good in it.
Just to answer your question, big buddy, this all due respect to Jason Dominguez, but the Yankees are in first place without him.
You don't mess with chemistry. If
Hey,
the chemistry's
Jason?
working,
The numbers don't lie. They're in first place without him.
Jason.
Unless there's something called super first place, which I don't know about. But go ahead.
Can you repost the link to join the live panel? They say it's gone.
Did.
You did?
Yep.
Well, shit, I might be blind then.
barely means nothing. They're in first place. Oops. First place is first place. We had a lot of the channels and a lot of the fans saying they were going to be a 4th place team this year and last place team this year.
Oh, 100%.
We had all those people saying that.
Now look
right?
at them.
And now they're not. Where are those voices now? Right?
Well, in April and early May, you also had people burning Judge at the stake in effigy about him peaking and not being the captain anymore.
Yeah,
But,
that pissed
you're
me
not
off.
really hearing them anymore either, are you?
Yeah, and Stan should still be DFA'd, by the way, guys. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, man.
Yeah, of the other 2, 3, 4, and 5, the only guy hitting still is Wells right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Wells has been excellent.
Yeah, dude. I mean, again, there is no one player here that's more important than everybody else, right?
Agreed.
That includes Dominguez.
I mean, maybe Judge.
Judge.
Maybe Judge.
No, I mean, those are the 2 top guys on the team. But
Right.
and we have prospects. But again, it's just
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
There's nothing wrong with him waiting for his turn.
I guess here's one more question I have now that you brought up Wells. With the way Wells is playing, do you see Trevino on this team next year?
No.
So he's going to be traded or dropped.
Well, that's what we talked about earlier, Jonathan, about that Trevino and Cortez will be gone.
I remember Cortez, not Trevino.
So you don't think Torres is going to be on the team next year?
No.
I don't either.
Well, as I understand it, there's supposed to be a opening at second base down at AAA Scranton. He could sign on there and still wear pinstripes.
Well, if he wants to sign a minor league deal, maybe. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't even do that.
Just a little bit of humor there for you.
I know. I guess when it comes to Trick Liberatore, it's not much humor.
I think a change of scenery is going to do him some good.
I agree 1,000%.
So, he's had his run here, and thank you.
He's had his years. He's had a couple good years here, or a few good years here.
Yes, he has.
I mean, if you look at the composite of Gleyber Torres over the last 3 seasons, he's been one of the most solid hitters in the Yankee roster.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I have no complaints about Torres's tenure here, or however many years.
If you look at Torres's performance in the postseason, he's one of the better hitters on the Yankee roster.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And Big Gun Judge, he's hitting close to 200
in the postseason.
Yeah, he's not done well. But you know who has cranked it is Big Giancarlo Stanton
and Verdugo.
Yep.
The one thing I would say about that, you cannot base the guy who's over the last couple of years who played well. You have to base on what he's doing now. And I don't like the fact that, yes, Gleyber Torres had a good couple of years, but this year he's tanked all the way to the bottom. You can't expect one day for 5 months he's been playing 200 or less baseball, and all of a sudden in the last 4 weeks he's gonna
hit 300,
a 300 hitter.
Well, he's actually up to about 247. So he's done quite a bit on bringing back his batting average. What he hasn't done is he hasn't
well below average.
He hasn't improved his fielding. He's still making key errors that are costing us games.
Boneheaded errors, you could even say. Like if he threw to first today, I think he would have got at least one of the outs.
Well, he couldn't even get the ball in the glove to even make a play. So,
but when he got the ball, I think because he was so close to getting the guy at second, I bet you if he turned and threw to first instead of throwing to second, or
he didn't have a grip. He didn't have a grip on the ball. That's why he went to second.
Right, that makes sense. Good point.
He almost shoveled it almost out of his glove.
100%. You're right.
And you know what is the one injury that I think has hurt the bullpen the most is I think Loaizaga.
I agree 1,000%.
I think Loaizaga is one of the guys who could close.
I agree 1,000% with that.
Yeah, but the Yankees burned him out by making him pitch multiple innings. Loaizaga was a great 1 inning guy, maybe 2, but they gave him too many 3 inning games, without enough rest in between, and it just kept blowing his arm out
Yep.
year after year.
Well,
That's why this year he's not even available to us.
well,
That's a
that's
good point.
another problem. The Yankees over the last 20 years has basically abused their bullpen.
I couldn't agree more. This is why they need more long relief, right?
And
That's why I like Cortez being in the bullpen, because he's a starter, or he's been a starter for a while now.
yeah, and that's your true long relief.
Exactly.
Yep. Andrew Dang's in the house. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, yo, what's up, guys?
How you doing,
What's
man?
up, man?
Oh, pretty good.
Are you really a Jedi?
Yeah, very much.
I don't know. This camera.
And I had this profile for like the last 4 years. Like, I did it on Photoshop, so just make it look cool and stuff.
Well,
Is that a picture of a baby shark on there too?
Which one?
Is that a picture of a baby shark there too?
Where?
On your profile pic with the lightsaber.
No, that's a person.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's me.
My bust.
That looks like Mace Windu's lightsaber.
I
What
mean,
do
I
you-
prefer the Sith.
What do you got? You got some words of wisdom for us, Dang, Andrew?
Oh, what were we talking about actually? 'Cause
We're talking about. I mean,
Talking about the
everything from
Orioles. We're talking about the
Dominguez to
Orioles.
Verdugo to Gleyber Torres.
We're talking about everything.
oh, gotcha. Oh,
Dominguez not being here.
no,
A while ago.
Yeah,
And,
the wise
and,
guy.
and how we're also negative on the Martian. So you got to throw that in there too.
gosh.
Hey, Jason, I think we should, you and I should be GM and owner.
I would go for that.
I'll take that salary. My God, hell yeah. Ugh, I'll take that
And the
salary.
stress that comes with it, yeah, it'll be worth it.
Just think,
I
You
can
know,
see you two
between
being
Boone
on the
and
Yes Network
Cashman.
one day.
they're in an impossible job. If they do something great, they're not going to get acknowledged for it. But when the crap hits the fan, they are definitely the first people front center to get kicked in the face.
1000%.
Just think if that was your everyday job. You're out there busting hump trying to do the best that you could possibly do, put the best product that you could. And sometimes shit just doesn't work out. It happens.
Shit hits the fan some days.
Yep.
And you got 5 million people on Twitter, on X, on YouTube, just kicking your teeth in every day.
Yep.
I want to know why Johnny TD thinks Dominguez will be a bust.
What?
Is that sarcasm, TD? Or you really think that? I don't know. I don't know if any of us think he's going to be a bust, but
I think if the Yankees give him everyday playing time, just like they did with Volpe, he will be a good player.
He will develop very nicely. I agree.
You need to trust the young guys. That's the only way. If Steinbrenner is really serious about lowering the payroll, you have to trust the system and play the young guys. That's the only way you're gonna lower the payroll.
100%. And getting guys like Jazz Chisholm.
yep.
We're not
We're
starting
paying him
to
nickels to be an all-star.
Cashman does not like Dominguez. Why do you say that, Tyler? Did Cashman say that?
I mean, all I ever heard Cashman say was there's no lane for him right now, and if he's going to be up here, we want him to play every day. So that means that he does like Dominguez, and he wants to get the best out of Dominguez.
Yep.
And as of right now, the best for Dominguez is to remain in AAA and get everyday playing time, which he is getting.
Yep.
So
Yes,
I don't know.
That raises a great question. Why is saying that there's not a spot for him right now, meaning that the team has a negative view of him? Because that's what seems to be coming out of it, a lot of the comments. Just because he's not here, it means the team is negative on him. Where is that? Where does one have to do with the other?
It's just taking people's words, Joel, and just taking it out of context, like people like to do all the time. It's a common thing. They like to twist people's words.
Well,
Just a
one
quick
thing to
question.
remember about
Hang on, Jonathan. Kim was going to say something.
Yeah, let's let him. Sorry.
Brandon, I see your post here on the on the stream that you'd like to see us landing better hitters and removing bad hitters like Alex Verdugo. Verdugo may not be hitting up to the specs that you want, but his defensive play is
Makes up
definitely
for it.
well above what we have out anywhere in our system. You're talking about Brent Rooker, I'm assuming is a possible replacement for Verdugo. Rooker has some definite power, but the guy strikes out a ton. He is definitely not a guy that I really see as value added to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan.
If
The
I can
thing-
answer this one, guys, I mean, if he's so banged up, why do you? I'm guessing. Well, first of all, Boone said he was banged up, right? And isn't one of the biggest criticisms we get from fans that the Yankees don't play when they're hurt, that they're soft?
Yeah.
Verdugo's playing banged up.
Anyone see our AAA team go yard? Every single player on the team went yard
That's
yesterday.
awesome. That's
It was
awesome.
awesome.
But
Can I
he's
say,
playing banged up, Jim. I mean, that's what Boone's saying. It's pretty evident when he crashed into the wall. So, you know.
And real quick, Tyler's comment, Cashman saying that Verdugo gives them a better chance of winning. Okay, with Cashman saying that, where does that translate to him disliking Dominguez? I'm just curious because he did say he wants Dominguez to come up and play. He wants him to play every day if he's going to get brought up, which
Exactly.
sounds like he's not going to get being played every day. So again, Verdugo giving this team a better chance when with Cashman saying that. Where does it translate to him disliking Dominguez? I'm just trying to figure this out.
And we got to look at Verdugo's postseason numbers. He does give us a better chance in the postseason than Dominguez.
Over
Dominguez is a
300.
rookie.
Yep.
can I
Yeah.
bring one thing up?
Go ahead, man.
2 weeks
No,
from today,
3-2.
2 weeks from today is the last day of AAA schedule.
Yeah.
So after that, I would say probably Dominguez being called up if he wants to continue to play.
But for who, Jonathan? Who
I
they
don't
gonna-
know.
who- that's just
I
it.
don't know. You
We
have
can't talk about bringing somebody up unless we can identify who they're going to release from the 26 players
they have
or
a
28 players. I'm sorry, 28 players.
they have a bunch of guys.
Who? They're not going to let go of DJ. They're not going to let go of Rizzo. They're not
The
going to
only
let go
guys
of
they
Torres.
the only guys they
They're not
have
gonna-
on the roster are Duke Ellis and Trent Grisham. Those are the
Ellis
only-
got sent back down though. They optioned him back down to AAA.
He's
Yep.
still on the roster.
That's because they need room for what?
He's
Hamilton?
on the 40-man roster.
On the 40.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see the Martian DHing for Stanton too, but I don't want it to be this year. I don't think he's ready. Not
King-
just close to the
King's-
postseason.
King Solomon, people in the minor leagues don't get the option of asking for a trade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Duke Ellis brings a skill set that they haven't utilized, like Jonathan said, the speed, right?
The speed, it's
Every
unreal.
time he got on base, he stole a base. Every time I saw him in the field, he was stealing a base.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
But-
NFE, was there a corresponding move to dropping Ellis down?
No.
I
No,
didn't
there was
see
not.
a corresponding move, but my assumption would be John Birdie because they were talking about him being possibly brought up tomorrow.
That's a good
They
thought.
haven't
makes
announced
sense.
any moves other than Ellis.
So that leaves one spot on the 28-man roster then.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be Birdie because they were talking about bringing him up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Correct.
Exactly.
Is
So-
John
Birdie's
Birdie
got wheels too,
eligible for
doesn't he?
the playoffs?
Birdie has wheels too, doesn't he?
He's
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the fastest guys in
He's got
baseball.
some wheels.
Two
That's what I thought.
years ago, he led the National League in stolen bases.
Exactly. Okay.
Oh wow.
But if we have Jazz at third, where's Birdie going to play? First?
Birdie can play short. He can play second. He can play first.
He's a good utility guy.
But they're not going
He's
to take
a-
Volpe. They're not going to take Volpe out. They're not going to take Rizzo out.
So he could probably platoon with Rizzo then. Would be my guess. You could put him over there at shortstop, just to if Volpe needs a day off. I mean,
That's exactly what I was going to say. I could see Volpe getting a day off. 1,000%.
Hey,
I
Jason.
don't see Dominguez getting traded in the offseason, especially not for a closer.
No, why would we trade him when we could sign
John-
somebody?
why are they trading him?
Johnny TD suggested.
Jason, I
trading
want to
him
ask you
for
something.
Close.
Who are other catchers that are available for the playoffs besides Trevino?
Narvaez.
Narvaez is probably going to be your next best thing, but I doubt Narvaez is going to even be on the roster. It's going to be Wells and Trevino.
Yeah,
Narvaez
is
hasn't
the
even made
only
his
other
MLB
catcher on
debut,
the
has he?
I think he had one game.
Hey,
Did he?
He,
No, he was up
yeah,
for
he played in
one
one game and he got a hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
He
made a
had
couple of
13
appearances.
at-bats this year with 3 hits. That's his major league experience.
But
Spencer
bring him up
Jones,
during the
what, Johnny
postseason is
TD?
sketchy.
He's not ready to be a major league catcher.
I agree with you, Jonathan.
No.
Volpe has 34 strikeouts. I always say he's not a good player.
Well, let me see. I'm going to pull up his stats here.
Interesting.
Yeah, what is
34
that? What is
strikeouts.
that percentage wise? What does
Isn't it-
that mean?
What year is
Unless
this for
I'm-
Volpe? His
I'm
second? His
looking.
third?
Second year.
It's the
Second
second.
year.
Exactly. I mean, come on, give the guy some slack.
You can't.
mean-
Another thing, you cannot. People cannot compare Volpe to Derek Jeter. You
No,
cannot compare these guys to people who have played in the past.
You can't compare anyone to Jeter, really, right now.
Well,
No.
I mean, if you look at true hitters, like Tony Gwynn and on the Padres, that guy through his entire career never struck out more than 20 times in an entire season.
Unreal.
What? Joe DiMaggio struck out almost the same amount of time he got hit home run.
That's also unreal.
I want to look
I
at Jets
think-
comments.
I think the difference between Joe DiMaggio's strikeouts and home runs is less than 20.
Really?
But getting back
I
to
want
that
my
number
comments.
of strikeouts for Volpe, 34. What does that compare to his total at bats? To figure out what the percentage is, to see whether or not that percentage is within the average range right now.
Well, he's got 141 this year. I'm looking at his stats right now. Last year he had 167, so he's got 26 less.
So what percentage is 141 over his number of at bats?
579. You're looking at probably 25%.
25%.
About that. He's got 146 hits. He had 113 last year. He's got 33 more hits right now. His batting average is 43 points higher right now than it was last year.
You know what? What can you ask? You can't ask for.
Small
He's
progress.
making progress. Is all I'm trying to say. He's
Yep.
not going back. He's not going backwards. He's going forwards.
Small progress is still progress.
Why are you gonna? Why? We didn't complain about him that much last year. I mean, some people did, yeah, but
I was going to say a lot of people complained about Volpe last year. They were ready to send him back down. You kidding?
Lost
Yeah.
every day. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
that answer.
Kate Solomon's talking 34 strikeouts this month.
Oh, this month.
I have
okay.
the answer for that.
He struck
what I
out
brought up.
34. He struck out 34 times in 8 days of September.
Jason,
I don't think so.
I have the answer to that Joe DiMaggio thing I brought up.
Well,
Joe
but hang on.
DiMaggio struck out 369 times while hitting a home run 361 times.
it's unreal.
Yeah,
And
but
that's what Jason Dominguez is being compared to. No.
He's being compared to Mickey Mantle, not Joe
Yeah.
DiMaggio.
Power hitter,
Oh,
isn't
my
he?
bad.
all right. So anyhow, getting back to that 34 strikeouts, Ken, how many strikeouts has Judge had in that same period?
That's a great
lot.
question.
As a rookie?
No, right now.
Oh, right
in
now?
the-
Oh, okay.
in the so-called whatever month it is, I guarantee you that Judge is probably at that number, if not more, because he's in a slump right now.
Agreed.
Let me see. Amount of
It's gotta be
strikeouts
close.
Judge had this year. Judge has
I'm
struck
worried
out
about
152
Bad
times this
striking
year
at
so far.
Dodgers.
So he struck out more than Volpe.
He's got more
Exactly.
strikeouts than Volpe, yeah.
More Volpe. Interesting.
So give the kid a break. He'll get better. So next year, this
He's
year
a
they worked
kid.
on getting his average up. Maybe next offseason they'll work on reducing his strikeouts.
Yeah, that was the
Exactly.
biggest complaint last year. They was batting almost 200, right? I remember
Yeah.
we talked about it.
Yeah.
It was like
all the time.
209 or something like that.
Yeah, he's up over 40 points higher, so he's making progress. And again,
I-
who are we comparing him to? Bobby Witt Jr. Like,
And
I could
Honestly,
see Volpe getting another Gold
If-
Glove this year.
I can see that too.
if you don't want Volpe to play shortstop, who the hell do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't say Arias or Lombard because it's not their time yet.
They're an
Probably
A-ball.
another year away.
coming
Both,
up.
both
I
of
know.
them
I'm
are-
just being facetious, just because.
I understand.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Oswaldo not playing every single day, guys?
As well, though, I
I'll
would
get.
like to see him more.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I like Cabrera's energy.
Right.
You can't take a smile off the kid's face.
Exactly.
He's always hustling, and in the clutch, he seems to come through.
I think he deserves a starting role. I really do.
Yeah,
Where?
I've been an Oswaldo guy since last year.
Where?
So
That's a good question.
you're preaching to the choir, and talking to me about Oswaldo because he is out there, like Ken said, he hustles all the time.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I
and
wouldn't mind
he's-
sitting Torres for a few games and playing Oswaldo Cabrera.
I agree 1000%, Jonathan.
And he's
Yeah.
always ready. He's always ready when he gets that chance to hit.
Mm-hmm. I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, and I'll give my take real quick because I do have to head out. But
Really?
family duties, they're calling me. So
You're 3 hours behind us, brother. You don't need.
whatever.
You're not
Whatever.
on bedtime. This is a long ways off. For you.
No, I don't. It's not tearing bedtime, man. It's just when family calls, I got to respond. It's what I do.
And you have
good
you have the
father.
Is that
wrong
the
name
chow
of
bell?
you have the wrong name of the channel next to your name.
Mm-hmm.
It's the strike not so hot zone.
See, so
Yeah.
we can have jokes.
No, it's all good. Shoot, you can joke away.
Camaraderie is a good thing.
Joke away, man. It's all good. I joke around too. Some people just, some people can
Take it
dish it but
personal.
can't take it.
And
Yeah.
if he and I have a running gag, so that's fine.
Yeah, I always say in the chat to Joel, I was like, "Oh, Joel, you're my biggest hater."
And I was one of the first subscribers too.
Yeah, brother.
You were at that. No, I would love to see Oswaldo Cabrera play every day. I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, like Ken says, he's always got a smile on his face. He's full of energy. I mean, even when he's in the dugout, he's always in a good mood. He's never in a bad mood. He's kind of like your, in a way, he's kind of like your IKF. He's just always, he puts his head down, he plays. If he's not playing, all right, fine. He's in the dugout, just just not in a bad mood or anything. He's still, in a good mood. He keeps himself with good energy. So, maybe he can, there's games where he could fill in for Gleyber Torres. He can fill in for, at first base, maybe, if the Yankees decide to go that route, maybe he can fill in at third base, although I don't see that happening, especially with Jazz Chisholm.
No, we're not with Jazz.
Yeah, with Jazz. You could put him in the outfield, but I'm not really a fan of him in the outfield personally. I'm not saying he couldn't play it. It's just I think he's just better utilized in the infield.
I agree with that.
So, but I wanted to just kind of give my take on that real quick before I head out. So,
It's a good take, brother.
yeah.
I like having Cabrera around too. He's just a great guy around, great clubhouse guy. And whether he's playing full time or part time, he still contributes.
Yeah.
And you know what? He handles the lights, the pressure, the big lights and the pressure better than IKF did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'll
but
give
I'll
IKF
tell you-
credit. He took it in the chin all the time. He always answered the hard questions.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a pro.
And I mean, you look at IKF. He came over in a trade. He was a Gold Glove third baseman that never played third base for the Yankees. We stuck him at shortstop, a position he wasn't familiar with, and go figure.
Yep.
He didn't succeed.
What
The
do you
kid wanted to
expect?
be a Yankee so bad that he said he would do anything to contribute. No matter how bad the fans crapped on this kid, he always was out there hustling and trying his best. He'll play outfield.
Yeah. And it's a good thing too, Joseph. I mean, his fielding percentage is almost 1,000.
And then he went to the Blue Jays, started playing third base again, and he did awesome.
Yeah.
I
Kick
think
us
he had
in
an
the teeth
awesome year
when we
this
came
year.
to
Yeah,
town.
who did the Yankees trade for? A third baseman?
Yeah.
But
It's
anyway, gentlemen,
Tennessee's buddy.
who's buddy?
All right. And
What
Your
buddy?
buddy.
enjoy the family.
All right,
All
good
right,
Will
night.
do.
God bless.
Josh
Yeah.
who?
Oh, Josh Donaldson. Oh, he's one of my he was one of my favorites. But yeah, no, I love to have Josh Donaldson on the team. One of the Three Musketeers.
Why not? We're
Definitely
still
love that
paying him.
Carpenter too. Remember him? The mustache guy.
guy. But anyway, guys,
All right, brother.
it was great chatting with you guys as always, and we'll see you all next time.
Always, brother.
All right,
All right.
buddy. Take care.
All right,
guys.
see y'all later.
How about we
Peace.
finish off? We'll have a little fun. We'll finish this off instead of talking baseball. We'll go to our fun part of this, and then we'll get on out of here. Do you remember the what I mentioned? If I don't know if all of you's heard it, but I was going to do a list of 10 people, dead or alive, that you would invite to your house for dinner. 10 people, dead or alive, that you would invite to your house for dinner.
Easy, Yogi Berra.
Go ahead.
Easy, Yogi Berra.
No, we got
that-
that, Jonah. Yeah.
That's one. That's not 10.
10.
No, I'm just saying my first one is Yogi Berra. I got a signed
Nice.
baseball by him right here.
Nice, dude. Who else?
Well, of course, I'm going to say the Mick.
It's fair.
It doesn't have to be Yankees either. It could be
No,
anybody.
I know.
I
I
would-
know,
I
but
would-
that was the first place I went to when you
I
asked
agree.
me about 10 people.
Nice.
Are we doing individual or are we just giving our own personal 10?
Yeah,
You can give your own personal 10 if you want, bud.
Yeah, dead
I
or
just-
alive. You know, who you would have.
I would invite all my grandparents.
Oh my goodness, Jonathan, you hit the nail on the head there. And my great grandma,
I never.
and my dad.
Two of my I was alive when all my grandparents died, but 3 of them died before I was 12.
Right.
So
Sorry to
I
hear
only
that, bud.
remember one of the 3. One of them died before I was a year old, and the other one died when I was 4. I would love to have dinner with all of them.
I agree with you, Jonathan. That's the best answer you could have ever given.
But in terms of non-family, I would Chadwick Boseman. I met him. He was a great guy. Meryl Streep. I met her. She was good. Let's see. I would Robin Williams. I could always use
That's
a
a good
laugh
one.
at the table.
And who's the Friends guy that passed away?
Chadwick Boseman.
No, the guy on Friends.
Friends.
Matthew Perry.
Yeah, Matthew Perry would be cool. He seemed like a really good guy, but he had his demons.
Yeah. How many
And my
do I
dad.
have left?
My dad had his demons, and
I think I have 3 left.
Yep. Good.
So let's see who else. In terms of baseball, I would invite Lou Gehrig. I would love to see. I think out of every baseball player ever, I think Lou Gehrig is the number 1 guy I would want to meet.
not even Yogi.
I've met Yogi.
Have you?
Yep.
His yogiisms just get me every single time. That's why I think you'd be a
I
riot
went
at
to
dinner.
a signing where he signed the ball for me.
Okay,
Nice.
so you have a signed ball by Yogi also.
I have 2.
Awesome. That's cool as heck, dude.
Yeah. And I have to choose 2 more.
Yes, sir.
See.
Do a football player.
A what?
A football player.
A football player.
You're not big into football, are you?
Eli Manning. I'll invite Eli Manning.
Okay.
All right.
And maybe one more. Let's see. Probably another comedy. I would do what's his name? Either Rodney Dangerfield or Louis Black.
Sorry.
Jonathan, that's a top-notch list.
Maybe Louis Black because he's still
All right.
around.
The top-notch list, bud.
What about you, Ken?
Ted Williams.
Good.
Travis Kelce.
Huh?
Of course, he's got to have jokes and is a freaking clown. So
And
definitely
we
would
have
have
to
him.
invite Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Travis wouldn't come if you didn't invite Taylor.
I could take or leave her. I don't give a damn.
That's fair.
Brett Gardner always seemed like he was a fun guy.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I definitely missed that guy.
Who? The one that I would really love to have, because I think he's a freaking clown too, is Nick Swisher. I think he'd be a lot of fun.
That's another good one.
Political / Navy type John McCain.
Okay.
War hero.
Exactly. Wasn't he a prisoner of war?
Yep.
Yes, he was the longest standing one.
That's what I thought.
Had the chance to be released early, but wouldn't leave until the rest of the prisoners left, and continued to take beatings. And
a lot of respect for him for that.
It's tough to put this list together.
100%.
I mean, there are a lot of guys that like actors and stuff like that seem to be really
Cool.
interesting on the stage, but then you get the backstory on how they are basically jackasses.
You're not wrong.
Not eating with dinner with a jackass. That's for damn sure.
Well,
I don't know. I would have dinner with Steve-O.
Yeah. Well, keep thinking, Ken. I'm going to move to Consigliere.
All right.
We'll come back to you, so I'll give you a little more time to come up with the rest of your list. What about you, Consigliere?
All right. So as I mentioned, the Mick would be first. My father would be second, since he passed away when I was 5.5, and I never really got to experience him. And I can't watch Field of Dreams in that one scene where Costner gets to play catch with his father, because that tears me up every time.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. I'd say Robert Redford. I would say Robin Williams. I would say Don Rickles.
All right.
I think Buddy Hackett would be great to have around the table. Barbara Streisand.
She's funny as hell.
I think Marilyn Monroe
That'd be a good one.
for just sexploitation.
Political terms.
Let's see, who else would it be? Oh, I've got to have Abbott and Costello.
Oh, okay. That's a freaking good list.
And then, yeah, because I happen to look up and I've got their bobbleheads that plays the Who's on First.
Nice.
So figured I have to have that at the table. And lastly, JFK would be my last one.
Oh, that's a good list.
That was going to be one of mine.
Go ahead, Jonah. What do you got left?
I've got a lot of the same list as these guys. I got JFK just because I need to know why they killed him, if they killed him, and then you got Yogi Berra, then you got my grandfather, my great grandma, Shane Gillis. I think Shane Gillis is a riot. Then I have Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
That speech was just unreal. I just need to pick the guy's brain.
Yeah, man.
If I could. I had it all in my head for a second. Sorry.
Tough, man.
It's the pressure.
Exactly.
The pressure's getting to you. It's melting
I'm
your
not
brain.
good under pressure. And then Robin Williams, obviously, yeah. That was another one that was on the same list.
I met him. He's really cool.
Yeah.
I met him at the New York City Marathon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then George Steinbrenner.
All right.
That'd be a good one. I'd love to have dinner with him.
That was pretty random, but nice.
Well, live or dead, George Steinbrenner would be freaking awesome to meet and sit down and have dinner with.
Yeah.
Heck.
It'll be a marathon.
That's my list so far. Let me think
right.
again.
What about you, Nosebleed?
Well, the first one on the list has to be our Lord and Savior.
All right. That's
Oh
cool.
my goodness.
Jesus
Yeah,
has to
Jesus
be the
Christ.
head of the table.
That's another one. Jesus Christ, good call.
All right.
Yeah, can't have wrong with that one.
Don Rickles would be at the table. Not the Vince McMahon recently, but the older couple years ago Vince McMahon, just to make his brain. Then you got your typical well any of the Yankees that are on the wall in center field, like any of them.
That's perfect.
Oh, that is the way.
My last one would be what's his name? Something White. He's a comedian. He's freaking hilarious. All he does
Ron
is drink
White?
whiskey and smoke. Yeah, Ron White. He's oh my goodness, he's so funny. That was my grandpa's favorite comedian. So if my grandpa was there also with all these 10 guys, I'd want Ron White there for my grandfather to meet him and listen to a couple of his jokes.
Go ahead, Nosebleed. Finish
Keep
up.
going, Nosebleed.
I'm sorry, Nosebleed.
That's okay. Martin Luther King.
Okay, that's a really good one.
Took one off my list. All right.
Sylvester Stallone, maybe.
All right.
There's just too many to have to pick 10.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Ronald Reagan, because you can get the politics and the acting. You can have two conversations at one time.
That's a great pick. Excuse me.
Stop, man. Stop.
Yeah. That's probably like Sonny Jurgensen, maybe.
All right.
All-time football player.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, I also wanted to add John Sterling on my list.
Sterling.
I love him.
All right.
Sorry for interrupting you again, Dud.
That's all right. George Steinbrenner Sr.,
Yeah.
old George Steinbrenner. Billy Martin.
Billy Martin. All right. Good list.
It's a great list.
Let's give you
Let's
a hell
hear
of a
yours,
dinner
Liz,
with Billy and George at the same table.
How about you, Andrew Dang?
Can I do Jesus Christ as well? I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Whatever you want.
I repeated like 7.
Yeah, bro.
Nope, there's only one.
Huh.
Yeah, there's only one, man. There's only one that does everything.
All right. Who else?
The only one you need, really.
Oh, sorry, yes. Had something. Yeah, I'm good. All right. All right, I'm back. See who else? Kurt Warner.
Cool.
Yeah, the
Kurt
OG.
Warner.
I love his story, man. Like the way how he went undrafted, and about
Right.
how, yeah, dude, the Lord was really working his life. Like I can definitely relate to what he went through and just like being the lowest of peoples and just way how his family, that he had. Like, yeah, I just love the way how he like served his community. And, like, I can definitely relate to that, So.
Yep.
What else? Definitely the Dalian Tomlinson, another guy. I love his story.
All right.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I watched his documentary on his family tree line, where he got the Tomlinson family from, and the guy, he was a white dude, but he had the same relative to his family and everything. So. Yeah, great man.
Can I add one? Not to interrupt you, but can I add one more?
God.
Nope.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Nope.
No,
This
you're
is
forbidden.
This is this is going to be controversial, and as it should be. But I need to know why. Adolf Hitler. I just need to know his mentality. Why would you do that? Why would you do what you did and ruin the world? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, it's controversial, yeah, but I wouldn't mind getting a second to pick his brain and maybe convince him otherwise of his opinions.
So
I
you
know
wouldn't
that
just
one.
give him a solid Jimmy kick and call it a day?
I'd probably fist fight him, yeah.
Sorry, but this Jewish boy couldn't be at the same table as him.
Yeah.
I mean, no one should be at the same table as him, respectfully.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know what I mean?
he knew all of his people. buy his bullshit. So
That's fair.
he convinced people of, that
He's
basically.
the biggest scumbag on this that we ever experienced in our life or in our modern history.
Dude, I read Mein Kampf in high school because I had to. That book's
It's
crazy.
a wild book.
Yep.
Sad.
Terrible, man.
You
Go ahead,
shouldn't have to read
Nosebleed.
that in high school.
Go ahead, Nosebleed. Go ahead and finish your list.
I'm sorry.
Good nosebleed.
No,
Anybody
I
else?
think my list is good.
It is good.
Yeah.
How about
Great.
All right, Dang. Anybody else on your list?
Randy Johnson
Perfect.
Okay.
I love Randy.
and who else? Brandon Webb.
Nice. Okay.
Why
All right.
Brandon Webb?
I don't know. He was an underrated player for my Diamondbacks, so he was random.
All right.
Why not?
No, I didn't know. I was just curious if you had a reason.
Gotcha. What else? I could do basketball players.
Jordan.
Yeah. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Michael Jordan. But I also want to include Charles Barkley. Why not?
And Kobe Bryant, right?
Yeah, sure.
I like
Sorry
it.
for
like
hijacking
it.
your list.
I like it, man. Can I give you a little bit of my list?
I want to hear all your list, boss.
All right. Martin Luther King,
Perfect.
David Blaine, the magician,
Okay.
Gordon Ramsay,
You better make dinner good.
Vince Lombardi,
Ooh, Vince Lombardi.
That's a good one.
Denzel Washington,
That's a good one.
Michelle Obama, because she's brilliant.
That's
She's a powerhouse.
fair.
And Lou Gehrig, because he was one of my favorite Yankees of all time. We also share the same birthday. So.
Really?
Yep. Bruce Lee,
That's a good one.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I love it.
He's a great wrestler, but he's also a really decent guy. I like decent people.
He's
I
a
like
great
people
guy.
who treat people with respect and were just good people. And last one is the new basketball player, Caitlin Clark.
Okay, that's
She's
a really good
fascinating.
pick.
She's
Well-
fascinating to me, and she gets a shitload of haters, and she just keeps doing her thing. But
great pull.
I've never seen a woman who could ball like her. She balls like Stephen Curry, and she, to me, she's probably gonna be the GOAT really quickly.
She might already be the GOAT if she doesn't get injured.
Probably. I mean, I think this would be a really interesting table of people.
Yeah.
No, and I've been fortunate enough to meet Denzel, and I didn't put Barack Obama because I met him already. So
Have you?
Yeah, I didn't meet Michelle though. Bruce Lee was one of my all-time heroes. So
Well, with your jujitsu and shit.
yeah, I'm a long-time martial artist. So
Yeah, martial artist. Excuse me.
And the Martin Luther King, civil rights.
I have more to add to my list.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
I would put John Lennon and Paul McCartney on there.
Yeah,
those are great ads.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, there's so many, but those are the few. Maybe let's see if I can think of another one. I mean, I would love to meet FDR.
Yes. Teddy Roosevelt is another one of mine.
Teddy Roosevelt is another one. That's
my favorite president of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what this country would be very different if Teddy Roosevelt and Franklin Roosevelt. Well, Teddy Roosevelt got a second term, and Franklin Roosevelt died when he was still in office.
I agree, Jonathan.
And the other question is, what would be the big difference in this country if JFK never was killed?
It could be a completely different country.
Yeah,
politics probably wouldn't be as corrupt as it is right now, at least.
Well, I don't think they would have. I don't think Vietnam would have happened.
Thank God.
Or at least the U.S. would not get involved in Vietnam.
I agree with that, John.
He's the man who started the United States Navy SEALs.
Really? I didn't know that. I know a lot of American history. I didn't know that.
They were founded
Affirmative.
because of JFK.
It's good to know.
The most elite groups of people in the whole entire freaking world.
You know what they say, right?
What's
If
that?
the Navy SEAL have you in their sights,
Huh?
you're better off putting a gun in your mouth and pulling
Yeah,
the trigger
I
because
have an uncle who's a SEAL.
you're already dead.
I have an uncle who's a SEAL. You know, like
Oh,
the
really?
Marines. The Marines can go in and take a lot of people out, but the Navy SEALs will do the same thing where you don't even know they were there.
Exactly. They're scary.
So, but they're all badasses. Every branch of the military, all badasses, and I thank them all. So,
Well, yes, of course. I have nothing but respect for anyone that served for our country, our great country.
SEALs are unique creatures, man. They're unique creatures.
Yeah,
When I say Navy SEAls, I meant SEAL Team 6.
I'll
When
tell
I,
you.
all of them.
with my quote. If
All
SEAL
of
Team
them.
6 is after you, you better just kill yourself.
All of
Yeah.
them. All of them.
Last week,
That's fair.
last week I was on a plane coming back to New York from where I was in South Carolina.
What did you do down there, John?
The pilot was a former Air Force pilot.
Really?
We were delayed because the plane had a cooling system that was broken, so it was delayed for 3 hours. So
That's sketchy.
I got to talk with the pilot, and my mother used to be in the Air Force, so
Oh, that's awesome.
she used to fix planes. So
Really?
they had a very interesting discussion.
You had a pretty badass mom, huh?
Yeah, she's still around.
Or you have a pretty badass mom, I should say. Excuse me.
Well, let's see. My dad, he was in the Air Force for 26 years. He was a wild weasel driver.
Really?
He flew F-105s and F-4s. He did 3 combat tours in Vietnam.
Oh my
Was
goodness.
shot down during his 3rd tour. Lost part of his calf muscle and couldn't regain flight status. So he became a troubleshooter for the Air Force. He still maintained his rank and he retired as a colonel.
That's
But
bad.
whenever the Air Force would have problems with aircraft, he and a team of design engineers would figure out what the fix was. Then they would go to like Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, one of the companies that built the airframe, and sit back and do bid spec proposals on what it would cost to retrofit the entire air fleet to make those modifications. And when he retired, he went to work for Boeing Military Aircraft and was on the other side of the table.
That's awesome.
Cool, man.
For myself, I'll finish up my list. I have Joe Pesci as one that I'd like to have dinner with.
It's a good list.
And Jason actually got one that I had on my list, Caitlin Clark. She just seems like an amazing person and seems to hold up under the crap and pressure, and
the scrutiny.
She'd be a good one to have.
She elevates everybody around her.
100%.
John Wayne, of course, for me.
Oh my goodness. Great pull.
And Donald Sutherland.
Oh, I love him. He just passed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I love him. I just saw the Italian Job today. He was in that.
Yeah.
I love Donald Sutherland.
I like Space Cowboys.
He's great, man. He played Bill Bowerman in the movie Without Limits about Steve Prefontaine.
I need to go back and find his early movies. I'm not sure if I've seen how many early movies I've seen.
You want to see him? You want to see him play a crazy man? Go watch the movie Lockup with Sylvester Stallone. He played the warden, Drum Gruel. He was nuts in that. Evil.
Well,
but
he wasn't exactly in tune in Kelly's Heroes either.
True. This is true too. This is true too. He's a great actor. He's an all-timer. He's an all-timer.
Yep.
He was great in Space Cowboys with the big glasses and the hitting on all the women. So
I mean, as far as being an actor, he was very, very diverse. Did some comedy stuff, did some war stuff, did some drama stuff. It's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like he was a really interesting person. So,
Johnny TD, what's brilliant, not only her academics, which are at the very top, the fact that she elevates people around her. She's made an impact in so many different ways. She was the most educated first lady in the history of the United States.
Oh, by far.
By 10 miles. She's still, she's
Why
still.
are you having to justify your choice?
Well, this
Someone
is true
asked.
too. Somebody asked. Johnny TD asked, so.
Oh, I know, but still.
That's a good point, Joel.
This is true too. Yeah, that's a good point.
And as long as we're talking about the military, my dad served with Patton
That's awesome.
in World War II.
That's awesome, though.
I have a photo of him in front of his tank, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool as heck.
That's freaking cool, man. Yeah, that's so cool.
I mean, as long as we're talking about, we can ask. I'm afraid to ask this question, but who would be 5 presidents that you would want to meet?
5 presidents?
5 presidents.
I'll tell you,
Oh man.
Abraham Lincoln. If
Another good one.
he wasn't, he didn't do what he did during his time frame, you wouldn't even have a United States of America.
Yeah.
Secession would have happened.
Yeah.
Lincoln is always number 1 on all the presidents' charts in history.
And I mean, you look at it. If he failed during the Civil War, secession occurs. Anytime a state is pissed off at the federal government, by the time World War II comes around, it isn't the United States of America; it's the 50 independent states of America. And
We'd have
don't
been
stand
like
up for
Europe.
Germany. So Europe doesn't exist as a whole.
Exactly. We would have been like Europe.
It's a tough list. I mean, shit.
Yeah, he would have been one of my 5 as well. JFK still falls into that 1 of 5.
Me too.
Yeah. I would put JK up there first.
George Washington might have been interesting as well.
George Washington was a scary guy. In a good way. Because you got to think the average height during that time period was like 5'7", maybe. He was
Someone
like...
cast this Teddy Roosevelt in there. Interesting.
Teddy Roosevelt's my favorite president ever. I love what he did for the national parks.
Yeah.
Wasn't Teddy Roosevelt the governor of New York also?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was president. He became president when McKinley was killed.
Right.
Part of the Rough
Yeah, I
Riders.
remember that. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. I had to ban Johnny TD, by the way. So.
Why? What did he say this time?
Why? What do you do now?
When I said Michelle Obama, he referenced George Floyd to her, like a derogatory statement. So I had to.
Yeah, no, we don't do the racial things here. Period.
Lincoln, JFK, Reagan, Teddy. That's a good list.
Yep.
Tyler.
Well, you do realize we have the internet freaking commandos out here.
That's
Yes,
a good point, Joel.
Yes, we do. That's a solid list, Talbot.
Yeah.
Pull it up. I want to see it.
Right here. Lincoln, JFK, Reagan, Teddy Roosevelt, and FDR.
That's a great list. I wouldn't change anything about that list, actually.
It would actually be interesting to talk to Lyndon Johnson about the civil rights movement during his presidency.
Yeah.
That's another good pull.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's amazing how so many people want to just basically eliminate civil rights now. So.
Well, it's being challenged. It's being challenged a lot, and I'm what they did 11 years ago with voting rights.
Yep. They try to they try to roll all that back too.
The only question is why do they ignore what is said in the 25th Amendment, 26th Amendment?
I don't know.
What's said in the 26th Amendment? Excuse my ignorance.
26th Amendment basically gives everybody in the U.S. who's 18 or older the right to vote.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's the short answer.
Yes, sir.
Well, one of these guys said that if you don't have kids, you shouldn't be able to vote.
Why?
Yeah.
One of these people running for office right now. One of these.
What?
Yeah, that was
JD
Yes,
Vance.
your
JD Vance.
VP on the Republican side.
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah.
Yes, he said that.
I missed that. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have kids, you're less than human.
You shouldn't have a voice
Essentially.
like everybody else does. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
that
A
and
lot of people can't have children.
the cat ladies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, calling them cat lady. Yeah.
A lot of people can't have kids. See, also, like people are fertile or infertile.
Yeah.
You know, like the ignorance behind that statement is next level.
That's what we're dealing with, man. That's what we're dealing with right now. So it's.
Well, I tell you what, you want a challenge? Become a chief election official and hang out during election day like I do and listen to the crazies that come in.
I can only imagine.
And it's like, holy shit, you actually get to vote?
I don't even know what state are you in that sells it.
I'm in Virginia.
Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Youngkin over there.
My worst personal election was 2 years ago when somebody decided that they wanted to carry a freaking firearm into my precinct.
What?
I thought
Virginia is an open carry state, so.
But don't you have signs on your police station or your police station? Is that what you're talking about, right?
Polling station.
The polling station.
Don't you have signs on the polling station doors that say no firearms?
Yeah.
Well, I was at my particular polling station at that time was a church.
Oh, okay.
And they actually had personal security there, which was allowed to carry firearms.
Of course, as they should be.
So hence, there was nothing saying that he couldn't, but he didn't enjoy the cops showing up either. One lady, she saw the gun, freaked out. She fell and cracked her head.
That's
so
a very
she's bleeding all over
intimidating
the
thing.
floor. It's the same damn election. I was like, Lord, what else can happen today?
Were they carrying a pistol or were they carrying a long gun?
And that was a pistol.
Okay. I mean, not that that's any better. I was just curious.
Well, thank God they're banning books in libraries. So thank God for that. All right.
Yeah, we got to get rid of history for sure.
Yeah, those freaking math books, man. Stop with the numbers. Okay, stop. Yeah.
What's another topic?
But we don't want to get political here, so
No. Let's
we'll wrap this up anyway.
Well, that wasn't a political thing. That was just crazy people thing.
It's true,
That's
but
a very good point.
But the people who tend to support the crazy people think that people who don't get political by saying that.
It's also a good point.
Right? So, which is nuts. Which is why I say it all the time, right? Facts counter propaganda. They counter talking points, right?
That's why this page is the best page for Yankee
I
news.
appreciate that. Facts are welcome on one side of the political spectrum, but they're not on the other side.
Right.
So, and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I'm not saying what side. It's up to people to decide or fact check for themselves, but it's true.
You're not wrong, Jason.
What's that?
You're not wrong, Jason.
That's the reality we live in, man.
Like that JP Vance or that Vance thing you just said.
JD Vance, yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm typically a Republican just because I do my hunting, I do my fishing, I do my farming. But that makes me not want to vote for a Republican candidate. That's idiotic. If that's passed, there's so many things that could be passed on either side that I disagree with. But especially abortion. Okay, no more. No, I'm sorry. No. I don't like abortion. I don't like that someone could tell a girl what she can and can't do with her body. Is what I meant to say.
On the non-political news, Cooper Kupp just scored a touchdown to give the Rams the lead with 4 minutes left.
Damn it!
Well,
I
that
wanted
actually
Detroit to win.
That actually pisses me off because Cooper Kupp is on Dev Finch's goddamn fantasy team, and he's locking up with me this week.
So
Jackass.
whose
Yeah.
fantasy football league are you in?
Dev, you're in trouble, Dev.
Jason, how about them Giants,
Weird,
man?
The
They got
look
Giants,
bad today.
Let's not
Giants
even
are the-
let's not talk about that.
Well, Jason's a Jets fan, so his cross to bear won't happen until tomorrow.
Well, he
Yeah,
likes Giants and Jets.
We get our asses kicked by the Niners tomorrow. And of course, you got Hassan Reddick, who still hasn't reported yet. So,
Really?
yeah.
You know what? That was a brilliant trade. I mean,
I'm
the
sorry,
guy's only under
I-
contract. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh,
I would be surprised if the Giants
Forgot about
win
the
4
trade, man.
games this year.
I agree with you, Jonathan.
I don't think the Giants win more than 4 games this year.
I agree.
with you.
Uh,
Well, I'll tell you who's in trouble are the Packers.
yeah, the Eagles look good the other day.
Well,
The Bills' defense looked so bad at the first half today. It was scary. It was probably a foreshadow for the rest of the season, honestly. The Bills' defense is trash.
the Packers, the reason they're in trouble is the last series they lost Jordan Love.
Is he done? Does he have? Is his
He
knee?
has an MCL strain. He's out for the next 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
Who's his
They're-
backup?
that's a long time.
Huh?
Who's his
When's their
backup?
bye week?
It was the guy from Liberty, Malik
Willis?
Willis, that they
Willis?
traded for 5 days before the season started. I read an article that they're now in contact with the former Titans quarterback.
Tannehill.
Marcus Mariota?
No,
Tannehill.
yeah, Tannehill. That's
Ryan
it.
Tannehill? Okay. Okay.
That guy that tackled him, I saw that he was getting like death threats via direct messaging.
Oh, God.
Yeah, of course. You know,
Like-
that's fans. They hide behind a screen and shoot out damn messages, but wouldn't have the sack to step up to the guy and say something.
That's a good point. Like we have here a lot of times.
I get them all the time.
Exactly.
Trolled all the time, man.
Like last time I was in a live with you, I had to go away for the weekend for my brother's motocross. He does motocross, and last time I was here, there was that one guy. I don't remember his name, but he was just babbling, rambling, and every time you would counteract what he was saying, he'd be like, "Well, why are you bringing up your degree just because you're smarter? You think you have? Shut the f up."
Whatever.
I have a couple of degrees. Doesn't make me smarter.
No,
makes
well,
me
that's what
more
this guy
learned.
was. That's what this guy was saying, based for lack of better words. Do you remember that, Jason?
Yeah, this is the guy who was talking about the Yankees' revenues and profits and all this stuff, and I'm like,
Oh, one of those morons.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's like, guys, the Yankees do not have $800 million in profits. Like this, we've broken this down multiple times. Like, and people just don't, they're under the impression that the Yankees can do whatever they want, whenever they want. Right? Cashman can just make a phone call, say, "I want that guy," send them over. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, because everybody wants to play for the Yankees.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you get Yankee tax also.
Yeah,
We got to give 2 extra prospects compared to any other team.
yeah. The price tag is always higher for the Yankees. It is what it is. You know?
I think after the 26th season is the new CBA. They have to negotiate the new CBA. So,
Yeah.
is there any changes you would like to see in a new CBA?
It's a great
Penalties
question,
for
Jonathan.
penalties for teams that don't spend the revenue sharing given to them
Yeah.
by the Yankees and other
I
teams.
love that.
And I
And
would like to.
that's one thing I've talked about you. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I
They've been
think
pocketing the money.
You either have to give the money back or you lose your first round draft pick to the
Yeah,
I
team
agree.
that gave you the most money.
and
I agree.
I personally would love to see a spending floor.
Yeah,
There
oh,
needs
yeah.
to be a
That's
floor.
another good one.
Yeah,
I'm not in favor of a cap, but I would love to see a floor.
hell yeah.
I
Gotta have a
agree.
minimum.
That's a floor.
Shit, yeah. Yeah, at the very least, man. mean,
I
it's-
can't believe that wasn't included in last CBA, honestly.
I don't know if the players' union's gonna be let that one
I'll
happen.
tell you what. It doesn't even need to be at the CBA. I want them just to get rid of that fucking ghost runner because I'm so sick of losing.
Oh
to
my
that shit.
goodness.
The Ghost Runner is the dumbest rule ever.
And if they don't, if they're gung ho on keeping it, push it back to the 12th or 10th or 13th or 14th inning. You know,
maybe very like if they
Yeah.
played an hour worth of baseball.
exactly.
Thank God it's not in the postseason. The freaking Ghost Runner.
Oh my goodness. It's bit us in the ass a few times this year already, but it's also helped us a few times this year.
Yeah,
Well, we're way on the short end of that stick. We're 2-5. So
I agree.
It's because no situational hitting, so it doesn't benefit us.
True.
Yep.
It's a
All
great
this
point.
will be discussed after 26.
Yep. Salary floor. Get rid of the Ghost Runner.
so who's the next commissioner?
I was about to ask, do you think Rob Manfred comes back another year?
No,
No,
you
it's
said
not
there's
gonna
no
be-
I'm guessing it's Theo Epstein.
Epstein. He's one. I think he's the best suited for it. And they've already said Rob Manfred's contract's not going to be renewed.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't see that.
in 26, so he's not. We'll have a new commissioner then.
Thank God.
Well, he's
I-
universally hated in baseball. So
My guess is Epstein is coming.
I mean,
Epstein.
he's done some fucktard things, but he's done some good things too.
Yeah.
Epstein?
Like I like the universal DH. I think that's a good thing.
Well, yes, I agree.
And people. I mean, it's important to remind people that he's like the spokesperson for the union. Spokesperson
Right.
for the Players Association. So, he does. Mostly what they want, and and it's essentially him and the union versus the owners most of the time. So,
Hey, Jason,
I
I think we should do this more often.
what's that?
A group chat like this.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I'd like to get back to once a month. So
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Once a month is good.
yeah, that
I
way.
agree.
It's been. I get slammed because we're putting an addition on my house. I have so much shit going on building a company.
How is that
so
coming?
It's slowly but surely. I mean, we added 10 rooms to my house, so we're just,
I know how many rooms you added. Your house is huge now.
Yeah, it's big. So
Jason,
yeah,
the one that we missed out on is we were supposed to do our all-star team from 1975 forward, and we just never did it.
that's the next one. I'm gonna write it down right now. Hold on.
I got to find my list because I actually built it.
All-star team.
All-star team from 1975. Is
The
it
present.
American League or National League?
For both.
It's a combination.
Combination.
No, it's separate leagues.
Oh, okay.
Separate leagues,
18 people.
18 people.
All right. Okay. And did you go from 75 to present?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what you put out?
So what? Yeah.
So-
So like position. So like my right field is from 1978. My left field is from 1982 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm just gonna listen for this one.
So the greats like Williams, Mantle,
Griffin.
They're excluded.
they don't exist.
We're going from 1975 on. So yeah.
So you're
Rose.
talking big red machine forward.
Pete Rose, Tony
Griffey.
Gwynn, Tony Gwynn, Goose Gossage,
American
Griffey and
League.
Griffin Jr.
Nolan Ryan.
American League, I'd probably do Griffey Jr. in the off. And is he a center fielder? Yeah, I think Griffey Jr. is a center fielder.
I think so too.
Then you get to file out your debate about A-Rod, Nomar, and Derek.
Ooh,
A-Rod takes the shortstop position for me. I'm sorry.
he does to me too.
Yeah. Starting rotation had to be Pedro, maybe Nolan Ryan,
Randy Johnson,
Randy Johnson, American League Randy Johnson, maybe.
Greg Maddox.
But
Maddox is
the
definitely
only
mine.
problem with some of these lists is
They could
Both-
go either way.
they can go in both the National League and the American League.
Exactly.
Randy Johnson played
Well,
both.
when you put your list together, they only go one way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
So you can't have the same player in both leagues.
No, sir.
Right.
All right, gentlemen, we have a month. to come up with our lists.
Yes, sir.
See if I can
Well,
remember that.
Put your thinking caps on, and let's rock and roll. I want to thank you guys for coming on too.
We said, Jason, we said this was gonna be an hour. It's been 2. I am so
Yeah.
happy. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining though.
I gotta go. I gotta get some rest. 'Cause I gotta get up at 5 from I work out in the morning. So
Oh my goodness, you got 6 hours of sleep coming to you at most.
yeah, I gotta go get some.
I too have to get ready for bed. I work tomorrow.
Yeah, all 3 of my girls go to school tomorrow. So I got
Do they start tomorrow or they already started?
first. My oldest one started 2 weeks ago. My other 2 start tomorrow. So
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
My brother started on Thursday last week.
yeah. I got one nursery school, one pre-kindergarten, one first grade.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So
I
2,
missed
4, and
it.
6.
Nah.
So I'll
All
have them
girls?
tomorrow. Yeah, all girls. So
Girl dad.
that's right. So I got to get
My
my
sister
workout
coaches
done.
softball. They're gonna play softball, you think?
I know, well, they like soccer right now, so whatever they want to play, I
Ooh,
support
they
them.
love soccer. Oh, nice. I love soccer too, actually.
Whatever they want to play, I'll support them. So whatever it
Of
is,
course, of course.
cheerleader, dancing, whatever they want to do. So
Hey, Pops, I want to join MMA.
well, I can't say no because I have,
You kind of put it down their throat with the MMA.
yeah. I will not force them to do. I mean, I'll teach them how to defend themselves when they're older, but
Exactly.
I'm not gonna push them to fight and all that stuff. If they show a genuine interest, then fine. If they show a genuine interest in chess, whatever it is, if they show a genuine interest in it, I'll support them.
Exactly. I agree with your dad.
So
I
want
agree with your
them to
dad's status.
follow their own path, become independent, become their own girls, be on their own women. So
My sister's won Coach of the Year like 4 years in a row now, and she started coaching 5 years ago for varsity softball in our division. So it's pretty cool.
yeah, man, I love coaching, man.
You coach also?
I coach runners. Yeah, I used to be a professional runner.
Oh, really?
Professional competitive runner, and I
I
coach
didn't know that.
people, high school, college, and post collegiate people running for the marathons. I coached like about 25 people. So
That's awesome.
Wow. 20.
Yeah.
Crazy.
and so I've been doing that for 2 decades.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My
So-
sporting venue now is bowling and golf.
Nice.
Well, what's your handicap?
I am a scratch golfer.
Yeah, you're basically in the same level as me, and I've been playing on. I haven't been. I started when I was 13, but I haven't been very consistent. I usually play maybe 3 to 5 times a year.
Well, that's how it is up north, bud.
I
I
still
may play.
work.
I
I'm
may
not
play
retired.
3 to 5 times a week.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, how do you keep up scratch golf at only 3 to 5 times a year?
I just do the best I can.
What's scratch golf? I'm sorry for my ignorance.
Scratch golf is zero handicap.
Oh,
I don't
So
have
really good.
zero handicap. I have in my lifetime. I've always played on fast greens. That's why it's very hard to play on a green that is not fast because I'm so used to having shortcut grass.
Right.
Well,
I
suck-
really enjoy this. I'm having a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, we always have fun here, man. It's always fun having you guys on too. Really is.
The-
I've never done this before with you guys.
Well, you're welcome to do it anytime you do it. You're always welcome. I put the link out for people that want to join. They're welcome to join. So
Yes, sir. I had to put a shirt on. I didn't have a shirt on, so I had to go and put a shirt on real quick and then join.
Yeah, we were gonna tell
We'll
you
hop
about
on the table and
Jonah,
start
we were gonna tell
dancing.
you about the dress code, but that's okay.
I haven't heard what Andrew's still here. I haven't heard him.
Yeah, and Jonah,
I'm so in.
pants are optional, but a shirt is required.
Yep. I'm in my boxers. Not that anyone
All
needs
right,
to know that. but-
now we're getting TMI.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant to say. Not that anyone needed to know that. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good.
Gentlemen, go have a great night. Everybody, thanks so much for joining us.
You
in
too,
chat.
boss, and everybody
Yes,
else
sir,
that's
boss
out
man.
there.
Thank you so much for hosting us.
Yeah, man, it's always a
I'll
pleasure.
continue to keep you updated for any news.
I appreciate it, and I'll do the same for you.
What
That's
time's the game tomorrow?
tomorrow,
8:20.
8:20.
PM? Yes, sir.
8:20.
Oh no! You're talking baseball.
Yeah.
We're at Yankee Stadium. So that's 7:05, 7:15 in that ball.
Okay, perfect. I like that time.
I thought you were talking Thought you were talking about the
The
Jets.
Jets. I'm excited for that game tomorrow. Honestly, I really hope Aaron Rodgers can live up to the hype that we have for him as Jets.
Well, if he makes it past 4 snaps, call it a good.
Yeah.
Makes it
he's
past
crazy.
one snap for calling it good. Didn't he only do 1 snap last year?
The next 5 games are at 7:05 or later, 7:15.
I hope he comes out of the game healthy. I think Aaron Rodgers is crazy, but I hope he comes out of the game healthy.
Well, your O-line's pretty sick, isn't it?
Yeah, we beefed up the O-line pretty good for the first time in a long time. So we got to protect his ass. We didn't do that last year.
No, not at all.
So we'll see.
And
Your defense is top 5, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be better with Hassan Reddick, but this moron still hasn't freaking reported yet. He's still holding out.
who's the quarterback for the Jets right now?
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, as long as he stays healthy, I think they're gonna do fine.
I think they're gonna make the playoffs for the first time in like 20 years.
I hope so. We won 7
When's the last time they made the playoffs, Jason?
What's that?
How long has it been since they made the playoffs?
Almost a decade.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. We had, I think, Mark Sanchez was the quarterback when we went to the playoffs last time. And
holy smokes, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was still in high school.
Yeah, we won 7 games without Aaron Rodgers last year, so hopefully we do better than that this year.
And it was your defense that won all your games last year.
Yep.
Your defense.
I'll tell you what,
studs.
The Jets gave the Chiefs a scare last year.
Which one?
The Jets gave the Chiefs a scare. I thought we were going to lose.
Oh, yes, for real.
Yes, they did. I remember that.
And I was like, you got this freaking scrub-a-doo quarterback, and he's kicking our ass.
But Mahomes always pulls through. Let's be real. I mean the refs. I meant to say the refs.
Oh boy.
I'm just kidding. I'm not really that guy.
Holmes is legit, so.
I know. I like to tease.
He's legit.
Man, I'll tell you what. You should hear some of the Raven fan blogs after Thursday's game. It's going to be hard to win with the refs voting for the Chiefs all the time. Blah blah blah.
Shut the f up.
We should have won the game. I was like, you didn't complete the touchdown. Don't know how you win from there.
And your quarterback threw a mile, about 3 yards behind the route.
I think he overthrew the pass. If that pass was a little bit lower, he may have gotten the touchdown for the win.
Or an interception, though. That's the problem with that.
Well,
if
it would have been the touchdown for 26 for them getting 26 points. They're still down 1. Exactly. They want to go for the 2-point conversion. They actually have to make it.
I mean, Lamar, though, I could see him sneaking in. But I'm not trying to stick up for the Ravens. I'm not. But I could see Lamar sneaking in.
Yeah.
For the 2-pointer.
Was it 31-26, the final score?
27-20.
Okay, 34-27. Okay. Yeah, but Lamar Jackson's legit. I mean, I think he's a top 7 quarterback. Lamar
Easy
up there.
Easy.
Lamar's legit.
He is 1-6 against Patrick Mahomes. So
yeah,
Josh Allen.
Mahomes beats everybody. He's got the Tom Brady effect, man. He beats everybody.
No, he really does.
Yeah, but you know the one that he doesn't have the effect on is damn Joe Burrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Burrow got his ass kicked today, though, by the Patriots.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Shocked by that.
Yeah, well,
I think we all were. I think everyone was.
The new regime, right? Jared Mayo's the new coach over there. It's a new regime, but they still play Patriots ball, like in your face, physical football.
There was no thought in my mind that the Steelers were going to beat the freaking Falcons today either.
Right. Yeah. And the Bills almost lost. The defense clutched up in the last drive for the Bills and stopped them somehow. If they were playing the same defense they were playing the first half, not a shot were we stopping them.
Yeah.
Our first half defense was scary, sad.
Well, after I'll probably recap the week tomorrow. Well,
yeah, Kyler Murray with his own scramble.
I'll do the football recap tomorrow. Now
everybody has Kyler Murray on his fantasy points to do, right?
Jason, with the baseball recap,
I'm gonna do probably. I'm gonna recap the Sunday games tomorrow, and and then I'll recap the Monday Night Football on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Are we gonna do the recap, the Sunday night recap with
yeah,
the
the other
Yankee
points
recap?
anyway.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just recap everything.
Exactly. I agree. I think that's the best bet
Yeah.
for getting the most views, at least.
Yeah, we'll get it all lined up. So, and there's gonna be no dry spells. Usually, there's a dry spell when the baseball season ends, and it's usually quiet and there's nothing. So,
It's not gonna be that way this year.
we're gonna go right into football. We're gonna stay busy the whole time. So,
How much is a membership?
the memberships are. I gotta go back. And look.
I think it's $4.99 a month.
Yeah,
Oh, that's it.
$5 a month. I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll start
I don't
buying my own membership.
control the pricing. I don't control the pricing of that.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
that's a YouTube thing.
Yeah, it's a YouTube thing. They it's all like preset YouTube.
Right.
I don't have any power over that shit.
No, exactly.
No.
But if it's that cheap, I'll start paying for my own memberships instead of Texas Buckeye.
No, these guys are way too generous. You really go. We got a great community here. We really do.
It's top notch.
It's a special community. We're gonna keep it that way. We're gonna definitely.
That's why we got rid of what's his face tonight.
Johnny TD.
Yeah, I mean he's usually pretty cool.
Yeah, he was getting a little.
But when you start talking like that, sorry.
No, I can't like that. Yeah, I had to.
For some
Sorry.
reason, I wasn't seeing any of his chats the last, I don't know, month when you guys were talking about all the things that he was saying. I wasn't seeing any of his stuff,
Really?
and I don't recall blocking him.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I know I didn't. But I did tonight. I banned him tonight. No,
Wow.
but maybe someone
I'm
else.
not.
Someone
Right,
else.
I'm not a
so
mod, so
If
I don't block him.
If I was a moderator, I could help you, but I don't know how to become a moderator.
I don't know how to make somebody a moderator on StreamYard. I have no idea.
Right.
When it was through YouTube before, there was a prompt for it. Now there's no prompts here. I don't have a clue in the world how to make somebody a moderator on StreamYard. It's a whole different technology.
That's when you get the
I
wrench
think
next to your name,
You have to talk to Hector. He would know.
Jason.
What's that?
Is that when you get the wrench next to your name?
I
On
think so.
YouTube, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
YouTube is different. This is different here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, but do you broadcast everything through StreamYard now, or
I do now because it's the only one that allows me to put all of you on the screen at the same time. I couldn't do it on YouTube before.
But that's for these video channels. But what about your normal nightly show or whatever?
Yeah, regular. Yeah.
Is that YouTube?
Oh, everything's on StreamYard.
Oh, everything is on StreamYard now. Okay.
Yeah, it's much more streamlined. Regular videos and live streams on StreamYard.
Gotcha.
It has more features. It allows me to add images, add thumbnails. I mean, I can do. That's how I can attach articles and all that stuff. I couldn't do that before on YouTube. No, that's why I got this.
Gotcha.
Wink expanding to Twitch. I don't even know what Twitch is. Wink. What's Twitch?
I think NFA knows how to do it. You have to ask him how to add a moderator.
Yeah, Twitch is interesting. You get like some gifts there, and then kind of modify your something. I guess I used it before, but it's kind of complicated.
Is it? What is it? Social media?
It's kind of like there's random streams. You find people just live broadcasting, like video games mostly. So
There's baseball stuff. Is there other channels that have Twitch? Okay.
I know Joe McFly does it. I follow his channel. So
Okay.
Yeah.
McFly from John Boy.
Yeah, John Boy Media. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I'll take a look at it. But I am wrapping this up, guys. I'm gonna get some rest. So thank you so much for everybody that came on in the comments, gentlemen. Thank you. It's always a pleasure. Love having you guys on. This is the time. Your baseball insights. You know, your list. Your list was awesome today too. And I love Switch is mostly gaming. Well, I don't do any gaming, so I don't know how I would gaming stream. I wouldn't know how I would make it useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with what I have, unless I just started a TikTok with baseball too. So
For me personally, I only use Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I've never really wanted to do anything more than that.
Same here. I mean, I
heard-
started TikTok because for the running stuff, and I started mine a couple months ago, and I have almost 10,000 followers on
Oh
TikTok.
wow, really interesting.
So
I heard they're trying to ban TikTok now because
yeah, it's
especially
crazy.
the-
I just started my TikTok with 161
Very-
with baseball. I just started like 2 weeks ago,
just 2 weeks ago. Oh,
and I have like 500 followers already on that.
yeah, I heard they're trying to ban it because there's some illegal things from China. They did something in it that, like, I don't know how's worse than hacking or something. I don't know. Like the information's like secretive, but like it's not safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what the like.
I don't know.
You know, I'm just talking about baseball and running, so I don't know what kind of
yeah.
shit you're gonna hack for me. So, but
All right, gang. I will talk to you later.
Yeah.
guys, have a great night. Everybody have a great night. Peace and love, gang. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you all
All
tomorrow.
right, God bless you. All right, good night.